You know, it's pretty amazing that in all these years, I've only reviewed one episode of The Simpsons. I mean, for a show that's approaching 30 years on the air, surely there are more bad episodes than just The Principal and the Pauper, right? Especially since everyone says the show hasn't been close to as good as it used to be in years. Then again, from what I can tell, the issue with The Simpsons doesn't seem to be that it's ever gotten horribly bad like Family Guy, but more that it's just going through the motions now and has been for years. At any rate, thank my contributing Patreons for finally giving me another episode to review. I guess it's as good as anything to start Patreon requests with. So is this going to be a really bad one? Well, it's from season 18, which was the first season to not get a DVD release, and we're told it never will, though that's mostly due to Fox giving up on the DVD market. And hey, it's a baseball episode, so it's right up my alley! So let's get into The Boys of Bummer. The episode opens with a game featuring Bart's Little League team. It's the playoffs and everyone in Springfield has rallied around the Isotopes, which I guess makes sense given that the old Isotopes left town for Albuquerque. No, seriously, they really did that, see?
I got it! I got it! I hogged it!
Well, Bart's gonna grow up to be the baseball version of LeBron James. So the victory puts Bart's team one win away from winning the Little League Championship, and this is enough for the people to already start allowing them to run amok like the Cowboys in the 90s. But before we get to what happens at that game, let's get the side plot out of the way, because as side plots go, it's not that bad. It starts with Homer getting bored while shopping with Marge and unable to find a chair to rest in. And he doesn't think to find the secret man grotto hidden in the petite section? Man, I remember way too many beer commercials for a guy who doesn't drink. This draws him to catch a nap in the betting section until the manager catches him, and of course this leads to Homer landing a sales job in the department. Why is it always the dumb ones who keep landing all the jobs on television? This leads to Homer selling a mattress to Reverend Lovejoy and his wife to try and help their loving issues, but the mattress he sold them doesn't work like they hoped, only for them to find out that Homer's does.
If you let us have your mattress, we'll give you ours.
On one condition. You do the schlepping.
Well, I'll have to check with my wife.
Why do people say Modern Simpsons isn't funny anymore? Oh yeah, that was only the B-plot. So we come to the championship game, and rather than drag the whole thing out like a Disney movie from the 90s, we go right to the ending. Oh, and apparently this is the same Little League that Charlie Brown's team plays in, since the game is in the 9th inning when real Little League games only go 6, and for some reason Shelbyville is batting in the bottom of the inning, despite the game being in Springfield, but I'm guessing Nelson's pitching motion is also illegal, so whatever.
A lazy pop fly to star shortstop Bart Simpson.
Huh?
Oh no, Nelson Cruz flashbacks! Find your happy place, find your happy place, where's my therapist's phone number? Oh, and here Bart doesn't just drop the ball, we have a whole Bad News Bears incident where he flops all over the field, and of course this allows Shelbyville to win the game. Well, great, now the people of Springfield have to burn down Shelbyville Town Hall and payback again. No, they just take out their frustrations on Bart, booing him, pelting him with garbage, going after his parents, and basically turning him into the bane of the city. Because apparently this is a worse thing than when he cut off the head of Jebediah Springfield. And heck, even when Lisa takes him to see retired player Joe LaBute, who cost his team the 1943 World Series against the Yankees, let's just say LaBute isn't a real person and that's not the only creative liberty they take with the 43 series. He lashes out against Bart for his error. Okay, from what I can tell, this is why the episode is considered among the most hated. That it takes the cruelty toward Bart just for losing a ball game way too far. But the really sad thing to me is, that might be be one of the most realistic scenarios I've ever seen from The Simpsons. As a sports guy, I've seen it way too many times. Sometimes way more up close than I wanted to. People really do overreact to winning and losing like this. Players have died as a result of fans never forgiving them, both directly and indirectly. Think radio guys harassing Bart on the air is unrealistic? In 1985, a St. Louis radio station did broadcast the address and phone number of umpire Don Dankinger after his bad call at first base led to the Cardinals losing the '85 series. Every single thing that the people of Springfield do to Bart here, I hate to say it, but I can see it happening in real life or actually have heard of it. This is actually South Park level social commentary, which I haven't seen from The Simpsons in a long time. Yeah, it can be mean-spirited to watch, but that's kind of the point here. So after Bart tries to spray paint "I hate Bart" over everything, and this leads to him falling off the water tower and getting put in the hospital, Marge finally gets fed up with the town.
You should all be ashamed! Passing judgment on a child for a sports boo-boo! What have you people ever done?
And somehow, because it's Marge that does it, it comes off less preachy than if, say, Lisa had done it. In fact, it's actually Lisa that has the bonehead idea here.
It's not like we can play the game over again.
Can't we?
Because apparently every single person walking up to Bart and apologizing and admitting they were ass clowns is just impossible. Still, replaying the final out of a game? It's not like that's never happened before.
I still can't believe it. They dusted the plate with a non-regulation brush, so we have to play the last inning over again.
Of course, in George Brett's case, they didn't have to replay the game 78 times. Yeah, this whole climax is basically one cheap Benny Hill sketch where they have to keep trying and trying and trying and trying, and apparently not once does the ball ever get hit to someone other than Bart, until he finally makes the catch and the Isotots win the faux game and everyone lives happily ever after. Well, except for the fact that Bart apparently becomes an even bigger egomaniac because of that, as we see in this flash forward.
Did I ever tell you about the catch I made when I was 10? Greatest moment of my life.
Man, Bart, you must have had a really sucky life if that was the greatest accomplishment for you. Oh yeah, never mind. So, is The Boys of Bummer one of the worst Simpsons episodes ever? I'm not sure I can say it is. Well, maybe because it tackles an issue that I think really does need to be seriously addressed, I find myself cutting it some slack. Even with the poor attempt at comedy that the ending is, it still can work by suggesting we'd rather revise history than admit when we did something horrible. Maybe the whole thing wasn't executed perfectly, but I do kind of see what they were going for. And for that, I kind of applaud them for it. So yeah, I guess I now suck for saying this episode didn't suck for me. Or maybe I just suck because I made a ridiculously stupid climax to a dumb storyline on my own show that nobody liked. No, I don't wonder why I've never been on Channel Awesome.